Today, we're speaking with one of the candidates who's running for mayor of the village of Great Neck Plaza, Deputy Mayor Ted Rosen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Carlene. Thank you for hosting me. I am very happy to be here and very grateful for the opportunity to speak with you and the residents that are served by North Shore Television and to speak with them about my campaign to become the next mayor of the village of Great Neck Plaza.
So let's get to it. So you have been a resident and civic leader in Great Neck for many years.
Yes.
Can you share with our viewers your life and your experience living here?
I would be happy to. My wife and I moved to Great Neck back in 1974. We lived on an apartment in Skank Avenue. Several years later, we moved to our home in the Wingate section of Great Neck Plaza. And I have been active in the community in different ways before I became involved directly in the village government. I was very involved in the Police Activity League. I coached my son and my daughter in all different sports. I became the girls' softball commissioner after coaching my daughter's softball team. I was a board member of PAL. I was the delegate to represent the Great Neck unit to the Nassau County PAL. I was also very involved in what was the Great Neck Central Auxiliary Police. I was involved with others in establishing an auxiliary police unit that served 3 villages, Great Neck Plaza, Thomaston, and Russell Gardens. And I was the chief of the unit, and I was the deputy inspector in the Nassau County Auxiliary Police. I became a trustee and was active and have been active in many different areas of village activity. If I may, I'll give a little bit of background about my professional life. I am an attorney. I have practiced law for many years. I first started working with a large law firm in Manhattan, and I went to a smaller firm. And for many years, since 1979, I have had my own law practice. It was a general practice, but I did primarily commercial litigation in state and federal courts. I have also been very active as an arbitrator. I've served as an arbitrator for various organizations, including a number of organizations in the Wall Street area, the New York Stock Exchange, the American Stock Exchange, the NASD, and more recently, the New York Stock Exchange and the NASD merged their arbitration functions into FINRA, Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, and I continue to serve as an arbitrator for those organizations, for the FINRA organization, on a per-case basis. I've also served as a mediator for the New York State Supreme Court and in the years past, for the New York Stock Exchange. And I started teaching in college. Way back in the late 60s and early 70s, I was a teacher for the New York City school system. But I started teaching in college in the late 1990s as an adjunct part-time. And I taught at St. John's and several other local schools. And then eventually became an adjunct at Queensborough Community College. And I continued in that role while practicing law. And then back in 2006, I became full-time. So today, I am a full-time member of the Queensborough Community College faculty, teaching business and business law courses. And I still continue my law practice a limited amount on a part-time basis. And as I said, I have been a trustee of the village of Great Neck Plaza for many years. And I've also been privileged to serve as the deputy mayor with our mayor, Gene Sellender. And as a trustee and as the deputy mayor, I have been closely involved in all aspects of village government. And Great Neck Plaza has been, is, and will always be a great place to live and to shop and to work. And it's a small village. Geographically, it's approximately 1/3 of a square mile, but one would not know that it's a small village based upon all the activity that goes on in the village. So the village is a very active place, and we are involved in many different things. We believe in the village that the village should do many things. So obviously, as a village, our primary responsibility is to take care of municipal services. And we do. I believe, and I believe our residents would agree, that we maintain the village in a very beautiful way. We clean the streets, we pick up the garbage. We're in the middle of a road renovation project, a multi-year project, which will, when it's done, will accomplish the renovation of our streets throughout the village. We have also practiced fiscal responsibility. When I say we, Mayor Selander, my fellow trustees, our village clerk, take a very close look at every dollar that's spent. We're very proud of our record for most of the past number of years in holding the line on budgets and taxes. While there have been increases for most of the past years, we have been under the budgetary cap of 2% pursuant to state law. And as I said, we take a close look at every dollar that's spent. Mayor Selander in particular has worked very long and many hours seeking out alternative funding through grants, and that has helped tremendously reduce the financial impact of various projects. We have a long record of traffic and pedestrian safety improvements. As I said, Great Neck Plaza is a very active community. We have somewhat under 7,000 residents, but during the day we have probably close to 25,000 people coming through our village, and that presents challenges. And we have worked to improve, to a great degree, pedestrian and traffic vehicle safety throughout our streets. In particular, years ago, we worked on the Great Neck Road project, and it was renovated. It was an old road. It was unsafe in certain ways, and we were able to accomplish a renovation of that road, which is a beautiful, much improved, safer road. More recently, we have accomplished the renovation and redesign of parts of the road, Shorewood Drive, Wellman Road, right to the east of the train station. It's a heavily used area, and the mayor was able to obtain funding through a grant, and that helped a lot. And the project is just about complete, and I think people see that it's much improved, not only from a safety point of view, which is most important, but from an aesthetic point of view. And we could point to other projects around the village. We also believe that the village has a role in supporting arts. And we were just talking off camera about the art show that we are proudly exhibiting from a local artist in the Village Hall. We have a number of art exhibits that we exhibit artists' work in the Village Hall. And we also have a very entertaining schedule of summer concerts in the ILP Park on Grace Avenue during the summer months, starting towards the end of June and continuing right up to before Labor Day. We also have poetry. We have a poetry contest, and I'm happy to say that we have an annual poetry program. Not many villages can say that. We have an annual poetry program in early April, and these are ways that we, as a small village, support the arts, which we believe is very important. We have village beautification programs and village programs of public art, from murals that are on display to making sure that our village really looks as beautiful as possible, and we're very proud of that. And then from a governmental point of view, I would say that we are very proud of the fact that we are very accessible to people, not only our residents, very importantly our residents, our constituents, but to all those who look to interact with the village government. We are very accessible. People can come to us and speak to us and bring us their concerns. Anyone who comes to our village meetings, we meet twice a month on the first and third Wednesday of each month. Anyone who comes to our village meetings knows that we hear from everyone. Sometimes our meetings can run very late because we allow everyone to participate. We invite and encourage comments, and we are proud of the fact that everybody that interacts with our village, we accord them the respect and courtesy that they are entitled to. As an attorney for many years, I have dealt with many government offices, and I can say that that's not always true every government office. But we take pride in treating people with respect and courtesy. And do you want me to continue?
I mean, if you want to continue, you're more than welcome to.
We have challenges in 2020, like any other municipality. We have challenges that we are very much aware of and that we work very hard to meet. We live in a time of e-commerce. As a professor in Queensborough Community College, I teach business. I know the challenges. It is very difficult today for small businesses to be successful and to stay in business. It is in particular very difficult for brick and mortar stores. So we know that we have a challenge in maintaining our active downtown. And over the years, we have worked hard to do that. We have had in the past a downtown recruiter. In the past, we have prepared a marketing brochure to promote our village. I brought a copy here today as a means of helping to attract new businesses to our downtown. There is a perception that Great Neck Plaza is difficult to park in. And we believe that that's really an inaccurate perception. I can take you or anyone almost any time of the day to Great Neck Plaza, and we can find places to park. And we did a brochure some years ago to publicize that we have parking and we have available parking. Over 1,600 parking spaces, more than half, I believe, are metered parking spaces available to the public. Having said that, we need to continue our efforts to attract businesses. And I, for one, would advocate doing what we did in the past, bringing back a professional downtown recruiter to identify new businesses that can come into the downtown, that can satisfy the needs of local residents.
Let me ask you, so Vision Long Island has used Great Neck as an example of a town with great and progressive revitalization. What do you see moving forward for Great Neck and its expansion in the next 5 years?
Thank you. Yes, we have been working with Vision Long Island. Mayor Selinger has been a very strong advocate of progressive zoning, transit-oriented development, which is very popular today among urban planners. And the concept is to renovate downtown areas that allow for renovation and perhaps new construction to attract people to live in the downtown who would not require cars. Younger people, older people, who could take advantage of the fact that we are a transit hub. We are in close proximity. Our village is the Long Island Railroad Station, the Great Neck Station is right in the middle of our village. So in most parts of our village, it's an easy walk to the train station. To attract people to live in our downtown who would be able to use the train and be less dependent on automobiles. And the concept is that by so doing, you increase the population of the downtown population, and these people would be hopefully customers of the merchants. So by increasing the population, you're helping the stores, and that's very important. It's a very important objective to help our stores stay in business.
So we know you're deputy mayor, but why are you running for mayor?
Well, I'm running for mayor because I believe that my experience in working in the village government for these years has taught me what is required and what has to be done. It is very complex to run our village, and it is very difficult for someone who is not aware of the complexities to step in. I am someone who has been there, is there, has been there, and I know that I can step in and continue our village leadership to continue all the things we've been doing, all the really good things, and to continue to face the challenges that we face from day one. And I have some ideas, as I mentioned, of where I'd like to see our village go.
So let's remind our viewers, what are the 3 pillars of your campaign?
Well, I think the 3 pillars, or at least 2 major pillars, and put it that way, is to keep Great Neck Plaza the beautiful place that it is for people to live in. People in Great Neck Plaza want to live there. It is a very desirable village. And by providing all the services that we do and making it a very attractive place, we help achieve that continued status, that this is a very desirable place to live. So that's, I think, very important. Also very important is to do what we can, as we have been doing, to meet the challenges that we face in 2020 in the internet era of maintaining and supporting our downtown business community and attracting new businesses and helping businesses succeed in their establishments. As a business professor, I know nationwide the failure rate of new businesses is unfortunately pretty high. And I, for one, see that we can probably do a lot more by helping our business establishments avail themselves of government services to help them stay in business. I'm thinking in particular of the Small Business Administration. The Small Business Administration, a federal agency, provides a lot of services to small businesses. And I think that we can do things to encourage our businesses in the downtown to make greater use of the existing services. So those, I think, are the 2 main pillars of my campaign. And in addition to that, I would say that we have to do all these things and keep Great Neck Plaza accessible to all those who interact with the village, and to keep the notion, which we really value, of treating everyone with dignity, respect, and courtesy, everyone who interacts with the village. So you asked for 3 pillars. I would say those are my 3 pillars.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate having the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
After the credits roll, there will be information on where you can vote.